Good morning, guys. Hope you guys are well. Welcome back to another video. I kind of dreaded making this week's review video. I'm not gonna lie. That's why it's actually happening so late. I really dreaded it. Like, I did not want to do this. I was even gonna skip it low key, but gotta go through the emotions. Yeah, man. Just yeah, a tough week. I'm not gonna lie. A tough emotional week. A lot, just a lot, man. But we're just gonna do a quick review. And then yeah, let's get it. Obviously, Monday, no trades, blah blah blah. We don't take trades Monday, but we're gonna run through Monday. I was, I did call buys on Monday when the day was going because I think I was not so confident about the direction because of what you call this, like the daily chart is consolidating a lot, and usually I use the daily to kind of tell me where price might just go for the day, or sometimes intertrade trades. It could say the price could to go up and go down. You know what I mean. But uh, yeah. So Monday we had this first fair value gap right over there, and on the 15, let me look at the time. Yeah, time is very important. Oh, this is a 5 minute. I was wondering. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We're looking for the we're looking for Monday to this Tuesday. What was going on? Oh yeah, we go. Perfect. That's what we're looking for. On Monday, right? Price. We sold into like a 15-minute fair value gap, right? We literally tapped into it there, and we got this SMT divergence on the SP 500 this low, and I'm not gonna go there because it's gonna be so tedious. But the SP 500 swept this low, but then the Nasdaq didn't, if I'm not mistaken. And then we expected this daily wick, as you guys can see, it so nicely. And when I saw price go above, literally when the new 50-minute candle opened, uh which was here, and then price went back into this 15-minute, into this first fair value gap that we created over here, and then we invested, literally used that, and I was like, there's a perfect opportunity to buy, to catch buys to the upside. We had news at 10 o'clock on this day, and also you can see how nicely price used this fair value gap as well. This one used it so nicely, came into that, like if you entered early, but I usually would wait for the 50-minute candle to close. But this would have been a nice entry if you caught this. Shout out to you, bro. You goaded. But then this play was very nice. I mean, like this entering this is kind of obvious, especially if you see this happen and you see price respecting this daily wick midpoint. Um, and then after that, price came tap into that first value gap. I literally said this would be the entry. Go watch back the video for buys. My target, to be honest and transparent, was the midpoint. The first target did get hit, which was this over here. That was the first target. Then the second target was the midpoint of this. And on my journal, I actually wrote, ideally I would have wanted price to respect. Ideally, I should have, objective wise, I should have just aimed for the low bearing fruit instead of aiming for the midpoint, which is something I aimed on my mock trade on Monday. I didn't place a trade, it was just a mock trade. On Monday, I aimed for the midpoint, but I should have just aimed for the low bearing fruit of the, as you guys can see, we had that end dog midpoint right there, and also we had this first fair value gap, the lower half, just there. Yeah, but I aimed for this, so that was a clean trade. Clean Monday actually, but there was news on that Monday. That's why it was a good Monday. And then price sold after that. Swept these. It was a clean Monday. It was a clean Monday. And then we had Tuesday as well. Tuesday took a clean trade on Tuesday, which was South, and which was this right over here. I sold this on Tuesday. Price where my patience were a little bit tested because I'm not gonna lie, a part of me wanted to enter when we were like here on that first, when we came back to the first Premier League, but I was like, nah, I have to wait for the 15-minute candle to close so that I can use that to enter. And the entry that I got, I wasn't really happy about it. Which was, I entered off this candlestick, this one, when it was going up a bit. I was like, ah man, price might just not come back all the way back up. But of course, it did like this candlestick, this retracement. This is the retracement we got. Price coming back into this first value gap, and then price literally came back into that, which is where I was low-key supposed to wait, but I entered off this one when it was going up. I was like, oh, let me just enter now before it jukes me. And yeah, then the next candlestick actually went all the way up. So I could have gotten a better entry, means put more money, less money at risk. So yeah, just like out of, I don't say perfection, but obviously like just going with a strategy and risk management end of the day. So my patience regarding entry was not the best. I should have just been a little more patient because I was afraid that price was gonna leave me. So yeah, that was, yeah. But trade hit was a good trade. I think, yeah. Um I had a broker problem when we were like at the final TP. Was it the final? Yeah, yeah. Where price on here it hit my finals flip, you won't see here it hit my final stop loss, but then on the broker it didn't even reach there yet. So I was like, oh, what if it jukes me because it SMT divergence and then it doesn't take me out on the broker? But I don't know, wait, SMT divergence on the broker. Okay, yo. But uh yeah, so then I just got out. Basically I got out where the second TP, the first TP was, and then the second TP, which is the last one, was around here. No, it was below this, but then I took it out here, both positions. So it was a clean Tuesday. The only win I got for the week, bear you in mind. And then after that, that's where the week, yeah, kind of cooked me, bro. And also look how nice price respected the lower half of that. And then just keep going down. Then carry this land low. Um, and then we have Wednesday. The Wednesday, the Wednesday, the Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Oh, that's Thursday. It was Wednesday. It was Wednesday. Oh, it's the devastating day of Wednesday, bro. Number one, Wednesday, I was confused when it came to direction regarding first fair value gap. There's even two of them. I really was, I'm not gonna lie. So, but I think this is the one I stuck with. I ended up using another day when the day ended. Um, there was a big fair value gap on that, on the this price session. There's a big fair value gap on the 15 minute. Let me show you. I think this one I have to show you. That's where I got caught lacking. Where is it? Yeah, here's a big fair value gap that caught me lacking. I literally waited for price to leave it, which is obviously here, which it did with this candlestick. A little bit, it left it there a little bit. That gave me the confirmation of buys. So my mind was like, oh, I'm gonna buy this. Worst mistake ever. I mean, not really, but yeah. So the idea was clean, but I went for buys twice here, if I'm not mistaken. But let me see. I wrote something. Oh, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of resistance in this area. There was a lot of back and forth, and I was not paying attention to this midpoint, and price was struggling to break through it. And I think I went for buys. I genuinely don't remember properly. I think I went for buys. Let me look at the time because I know usually I would wait for that 15 minute. I went for buys here. Literally, I went for buys here when price came back into this. I went for buys. My stop was there. I got stopped out. Literally, it was not even that long. And then I went for buys again here. I went for buys again here. When price was here, I went for buys again. I was in profit for a bit. I was like, oh, the trade is definitely hitting. And I ended up getting stopped out. And then I lost the trade. So not a good day. And those thing I took two trades. I usually only take two trades when I'm not overconfident, but when I know like, oh, this is definitely hitting. Like this, if I got the first part of it wrong, my second trade, I know for sure I'm gonna get it right, basically. So that's the only time I take two trades. Remember that. That's the only time. If I lose my first trade, usually I'll step away. But this week, actually Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I went for the entries, which was not the best idea ever because it put me in the worst drawdown that possibly could be. Um, yeah. So I really hurt myself this week. I'm not gonna lie. Psychology wise, bro, I don't know. Turmoil, turmoil, turmoil. I don't even know how we're gonna recover the coming week. I'm even at a point where I just felt like clearing my chart and just, bro, I don't know. Let me just delete this. But yeah, but look how nicely Price used this first value gap throughout the day, very nicely. So that was Wednesday, and then we have Thursday. Thursday, I wrote here. I was confused about my bias a bit, um, and the play. To be honest, and obviously the thing is, I was just looking at my trading times, but literally you can watch the video. You can go. Wait, is this the Thursday? Is this the Thursday? Um, this is the Thursday. This is the Thursday. Is it? It is. It is that same Thursday. Okay, it is. I'm just trying to make sure. Well, when price came back into this for value gap, when we used that for buys, I was like, ideally, I wanted price to do some damage, um, to this first before going higher. But then it respected the upper half, and I was like, oh, we're definitely buying. I wanted to see buys on Thursday. I was so confident about buys on Thursday, and I got just that. But uh, what happened? Where is it? Yeah, I wanted to wait. Was it? Wait, wait. I need to see something. Oh, I went for sales and then buys. My buys was sales. I'm so sorry. My buys were sales. But when I did start the trading day, I did want buys. I wrote it. I remember I wrote it on my paper. I wrote buys, and then I scratched it out. I was like, definitely gonna go for sales because we went for the London high first. So that was gave me the confidence for sales. I remember this day, and I made a mistake, a stupid one, if you ask me. I went for sales literally here. This is where I went for sales, and then I was like, "Oh, this is so perfect, bro. We set the London high. Um, we were respecting this end dog, the first for value gap. I was like not so far off the lower half, but right about there. We created this fair value gap, this displacement, broke this low, inversing this, and then it just looked so perfect. But I was like, oh, I'm definitely selling this, and I got juked. Literally, not even a minute, as you guys can see, I entered off this, and then a minute later, I got stopped out. And then when I got stopped out, I was like, okay, I got stopped out. That means I'm gonna go for buys. So then I set this because I saw that price was respecting this daily wick midpoint. And you see how throughout the week price was using this daily wick midpoint, which is crazy. And then I literally, this was my plan. I was like, okay, if price comes back into this, I'll use this to buy. Which is dumb because literally when it was happening on the video, the moment I saw this fair value gap, this one, and I saw price was respecting this new week opening gap midpoint. It was struggling to push higher. Um, yeah, it was struggling to push higher. And then I put a limit order. I was like, oh, if we're gonna probably buy, and I put a limit order right over here into this fair value gap. And I was like, I'll use that to buy. And to be honest, I had the opportunity to remove it. And at the back of my mind, something told me remove it and just go for sales again. And I didn't do that, which is so stupid. Because literally on the video, when I saw this Favela gap, I was like, whoa, I'm cooked. This is gonna be my entry for sales. And on a broker, yeah, you might not see it. You can go watch back the video if you don't believe me. On the broker, um, this literally I was like, bro, this is a perfect time to sell this. I literally said it, but I was like, you know what, I made a plan. I was just being stubborn, to be honest. I was like, oh, I put a limit order, I'm gonna stick to it. And yeah, I really hurt myself there. I ended up losing that. And it was gonna be such a clean trade because it still went with my bias. Because now that I was wrong with my bias, and then I went for a different trade. And then yeah, it would have been such a nice trade, bro. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking, but it was going to be such a nice trade. But obviously I didn't take it. And Yeah, I really hurt myself. Two trades again, and I lost those two trades. Second day in a row. And bear in mind, this is me losing what I would. I'm basically losing double what I would have lost maybe the next day. So I lost 3 days worth of losing extra days. I don't know if that makes sense. I lost 3 days extra worth of losing days where I could have used it, example, in the week to come, where let's just say I had another bad week. And then this week I would have had another. Basically, I just lost unnecessary capital. It was poor risk management on doing re entries. Basically, revenge trading, which is, yeah, that's why I have that rule of first. Uh, um, that's why I have that rule of first. Sorry, that's why I have the rule of first. Just take one trade basically. That was Thursday, and then Friday again, same nonsense. Took a loss. I'm so over this, bro. And then we had Friday. Friday, same thing of Monday. As we got actually an SMT divergence on this day, and I actually tried to sell. I tried to short this because I didn't want to see shorts. I didn't want to see sells because of the opening range gap. The London high got first taken, and then the opening range gap. I was like, "Whoa, this is perfect, bro." This high also got taken. These out of equalize. It's like, bro, this is so perfect. I thought this was gonna be my Judas swing, but this was the Judas swing that got me. Literally went for sells here, got stopped out. I was like, bet. I got stopped out because I was like, bro, we created these relative equal lows. I was like, price definitely has to come for these. There is no way on earth it's not gonna come for these. It did over Trump's tweet. Yeah. Over Trump's tweet. Um, and then when I lost this, I was like, okay, bad. Clearly, then we're gonna have to use this as an inverse, the first Fairly gap as an inverse, because that's gives me a sign of bias, which was correct. I went for buys. And then funny thing I did say on the video, this is gonna be a web, and it did create a web. And then I was so stuck on the I was so stuck on the what do you call this? The MetaTrader. I was not paying attention to price respecting this opening range gap line high. It didn't wanna go past it. It was just creating resistance, just like consolidating like horribly. And my stop loss was like below here. I was so confident about this. I was like, oh, this one is gonna hit, bro. Like there's no way. There's no way. I should have taken maybe that first TP. But literally my look, bro, this was my first TP. Literally like wait, no, it was this one. It was this one, right? Yeah, this was my first TP, literally right here. Then the second TP was this right here. It couldn't just give me that. At least give me this. It couldn't. It literally couldn't. Literally struggling. And I genuinely thought like they might just do like a Judas swing because my stop was like below there. They might just do like not a Judas swing. They might just sweep these lows where people are adjusting their stops and then go back up. It didn't do that. It didn't do that. I got stopped out of the trade. And then it sold like Trump tweeted or something and then price sold it out of the trade at the time. So that was good. And then came back midpoint of this. Look how it's using it, and then it went higher, and then yeah, that was just I could have done better. Oh, and then I went for another trade. Oh no, I did. Oh, I did speak. No, those two trades. Sorry, I did speak about the sell and then the buy. Yeah, so that was my week. Not so good. Not the best. I genuinely felt like clearing my charts. I just might do that to be honest. To start the new week, to start afresh. I just might just clear my charts and just start over, bro. I genuinely don't know. You know. Um. Yeah. Anyway, let's just see what this next week has for us in the sense of trading days. Monday, it's a no news Monday. Obviously, we don't trade Mondays. So that's whatever. We have Tuesday, 10 a.m. We might not trade this day because of this. It's on about our trading times. And then Wednesday again, all my days again. Okay, Thursdays it looks good. Friday looks good. So our trading days might just be Thursday and Friday. I'm genuinely considering not being on the charts the days I do not want to trade, but at the same time, I want to record it. I want to have it documented. I want to study what happens during the day. You know, um, I want to be here every day. Of course, I want to show up every day on the charts and stuff like that. So yeah, man. Yeah, this is my trade recap, bro. Let's just see. Let's just see what this new week has for us. I think there won't be much trading. Either way, I think. Uh, Actually, I have literally one more trade left before I blow my account. Either way, so I guess the Thursday is the day we have to redeem a bit. But yeah, I literally have one more day before I can. I might just blow the account. Like jokes aside, I'm not joking. Uh, because of my drawdown. So yeah, we'll see what this week has to bring. Um, I won't beat myself up too much for it. You know. Uh, Obviously, we're just improving every day and becoming better every single day with losses involved. It's a learning curve. So, yeah, man, take care, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. And yeah, let's get it.